Time after time.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I don't know that song, so I can't sing along.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Screen Weens, the show where you get to meet E10 and Tallhead.
Yeah.
He's E10, I'm Tallhead. And welcome to the show.
Are those our canon podcasts?
No, I don't think I have one yet. I can't make up my own name.
Well, Pierre, does Tallhead get the stamp of approval?
He'll probably call me like G4.
G4.
Like the old video game channel. Did you ever watch that?
I watched a little bit of
I watched
like Code Monkeys, I think.
Yeah, Code Monkeys was my jam. And I don't really know why, because I've tried to rewatch it. I'm like, it's okay. It's not like terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like it now. I barely remember it.
I remember there was a big joke in one episode where the like big fat programmer that was a nerd, I don't know if you remember him.
Not particularly.
He was like coding a game and they're like, you really need, he was talking about like pretty much chocobos.
Chocobos?
Do you know what a chocobo is? No. It's like a big chicken thing. It's in Final Fantasy. They ride them around.
Oh, okay.
But he was talking about them. Then he's like, I have a big cock in my game. And they're like, you need a big black cock in your game.
Ah.
And that was just it was like, ha ha. There was the like CEO of the company was he was like a cowboy.
The only character.
And then he had a little Asian boy that lived with him.
Oh.
Who just ran around screaming with an Asian accent and like jumping.
Huh.
And hiding.
The only character I really remember, and I don't remember them like specifically. I just remember like thinking there was a character in there that reminded me of like a Randall character from Clerks. And I know you haven't seen Clerks.
Oh yeah, Randall from Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
when he turns invisible,
but just like a slacker kind of guy.
Mm. Yeah, the main character. Well, technically, like the main two characters were like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there was the big thing where they made the main character be responsible for making the E.T. video game.
Oh.
I don't know if you know anything about E.T.
Yeah.
But it caused the video game crash.
And they buried a bunch of them in the desert.
Well, supposedly. I need it.
I think, didn't they like find it? I might be wrong on that.
I don't know. I remember James Rolfe being like, I'm going to go get him.
Yeah, James Rolfe is how I know about the whole thing, because I'm a big AVGN fan.
He's the angry video game nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd.
Oh, dude, I still watch AVGN. I haven't watched the last couple, but I still like keep.
I think I like him much more. Like, a lot of his older stuff is pretty cringy, just because it's kind of just, he was younger and, you know, like, Shit Pickle was a character.
Yeah.
It wasn't very funny.
Yeah.
He just does a lot of things where he's like, I'm gonna go poopy on this game because it's bad.
Yeah.
But I like that he's, like, actually grown. Like, you look at somebody equally as cringy, if not more, like the Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah, Nostalgia Critic's been stacked.
The exact same.
And, I mean, AVGN very much is the same, but he's got, like, that older kind of, like, retrospective. Like, he'll do tons of episodes where he'll kind of, like, look back at the history of the nerd.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's, like, grown, and he also, even when he was cringy, he had some, like, good takes and points.
Yeah.
And Nostalgia Critic, I don't think is, like, ever, like, or never smart, but it's less so.
And there are some episodes, like, of the older episodes, I can still go back and watch and enjoy. Like, some of the ones like Birthday, or Crazy Castle with Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I was about to,
Birthday Blowouts, like, it's okay. But Crazy Castle, that's the one where it was like, yeah.
But, like, and they've done the exact opposite with their skits. Like, AVGN has less skits, I would say. And Nostalgia Critic's just like, let's put in a 10-minute skit to begin the show.
Yeah.
That's really, really bad.
Oh, dude. I dropped off Nostalgia Critic for good when the Change the Channel documents came out, but before that I had been tapering off because he started doing those well, we're gonna start reviewing the movies that are in theaters, and we're gonna do complete remakes in our costumes and shit. And it's just like,
when they did it the first time, I want to say that one of the first ones they did was Pixels.
I think the very first one they did was for Jurassic World, if I remember correctly.
Okay, and then I think Pixels was soon after.
Yeah.
I think they came out around the same time. And the first time I was fine with it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then I'm just like, oh, we're doing this?
Yeah.
I thought it was a special thing.
Yeah, no, it became pretty normal if there's a movie he wanted to talk about. And I think it became, it was easier for him to dance around the copyright strikes.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it, but I would rather you just talk about the film. I don't need clips.
Exactly. James Rolfe on Monster Madness, he would instead of using clips now, he'll just use still images. And it's there you go. That's a solution. That works. If you really need to have some visual representation from the movie.
I used to watch his old monster movies he had made when he was a kid all the time. Gotta add those to Letterboxd.
Yeah, the Head Incident.
Yeah, the Head Incident.
The Deader, the Better. What's that? It's it's not. It's something to do with a cat. I can't remember the title of it. Yeah, no, he's got some pretty they're fun to watch, and I like seeing the progression of his passion throughout the course of his life. He's very personal in that regard.
Yeah,
and you can tell that he's built this kind of small place where he just makes the type of stuff he wants to make, and he's got a lot of fans who really like it.
Yeah, and it's kind of really endearing the fact that he's now become nostalgic for his own job, I guess, because he's been doing it for so long.
Oh yeah.
Even watching the first Nostalgia Critic and now it's just wow, he looks so different. He looks the exact same, but just so different as well.
Yeah. Does he still shave his head currently? Is he
I don't know. I haven't watched him in a while either.
Yeah.
But I used to watch Bored James a lot.
Oh, Bored James is the best. He ended it, but
I was so disappointed because I'm there's billions of games.
Yeah. To my understanding, they had I think Mike
and
Bootsy had a falling out.
Yeah.
So I think they don't want to continue.
I've heard that Mike's a dickhead.
Yeah, I've heard similar things, and I can kind of see that. So it's oof. I like a lot of the new personalities they've got on the channel though. I like Tony and Justin and Kieran.
We should get James Rolfe on the podcast.
James Rolfe, if you ever want to come on this podcast.
I know you got, set for life. You got millions of subscribers and stuff, but if you ever want to be on a podcast with 40 subscribers?
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about the Universal Monster movie. Whatever you want to talk about, James. You can pick all the movies for that episode.
We can watch the 1994 Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, we could. I don't know if that'd be particularly up his alley. I think he likes Roger Corman schlock, so
probably. It's probably really bad. We can watch all the Puppet Master films.
We could.
All right. So it's been almost 2 weeks since we recorded because I didn't really want to record another one in Mexico because the audio quality was shit even when I fucking spent an hour trying to fix it. So I'm back in the Washington.
Yes.
And we're recording a podcast today and a podcast in 2 days.
Yep.
So I watched a bunch of other movies pretty much. Did you?
I didn't watch any movies, but I've been watching the Clone Wars. I've been watching a little bit of Star Trek, and I've been reading a little JoJo's.
Ooh. So how far are you into Clone Wars now?
I want to say 7 or 8 episodes into the first so the way it works.
Season? Or are you doing it with the
I'm doing it in chronological order, so like in
like
order
you have the
events
list.
happen.
Okay.
Yes. And the way that the list goes is I gotta watch. It starts off. They're like, all right, watch Cat and Mouse. It's like season 2, episode 16. Then watch season 1, episode 16. Watch the movie, and then watch episodes 1 through 15 of the first season. And I'm like on episode like 8 or so, somewhere in there, of the first season.
One of the like early episodes that I actually do really like that I don't think a lot of people do. I think this is one of the early episodes. Plo Koon and the like troops are stuck in a ship.
Yeah.
I really like that episode.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I really like that. And the droids are like coming along and like just trying to kill all the survivors and
just that, like the droids, like there's a lot of really cool stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in the Clone Wars where I'm like, yeah, cool. They're introducing force powers that like don't exist or like didn't exist, you know. And then like Plo Koon just like walking around in space, you know.
Yeah.
And then people were so upset because Leia flew through the air. I'm like, what the fuck? That's literally a thing already.
Yeah, it's. I think that most people live in the original trilogy, and they refuse to accept anything as canon outside of it. But they'll still watch the new shit.
I want to see, like, I want to talk to the people that didn't like the prequels, because there's a lot of, like, retrospective people don't like the prequels, but when it first came out, they did do pretty well. Like, have you ever seen that video of people coming out of episode 1 and they're like, holy fucking shit, this is the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing that happened with episode 7, because episode 7 came out and everyone is like, yes, we got Star Wars back. And then like 2 months later, everyone's like, actually, it kind of ripped off A New Hope. And I came out of the theater and I was like, all right, that was just kind of A New Hope again, but I liked it. I liked the new characters. I knew that it was just set up for a new story. It was a smart move because, I mean, the prequels felt pretty different tonally from the original trilogy, and this kind of like went back to feeling a bit more tone-wise like the original trilogy a bit.
Yeah. The thing is about that is I don't really agree that it's just a New Hope. I get where people are coming from, but I think
it's got a lot of like plot similarities. It feels like New Hope,
but I feel like the themes of it are a lot of different.
Yeah, no, they definitely. It's kind of like an anti-New Hope. It's like they take New Hope and they kind of like go different routes with it.
But people were obsessing for years. They're like, have you heard the ring theory? Which is the thing about, everything rhymes. It's supposed to mirror, the first and second trilogy. So when they made the third trilogy and they do the same thing, people are pissed. They're like, what the fuck? You would fucking jerk yourself off for years. Like, have you seen the ring theory? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do you know Jar Jar Binks is in Sith Lord?
Oh, that's Jordan's favorite.
Oh, he said it to me and I was like, I don't. Fuck it. I would love more Jar Jar Binks. Speaking of Jar Jar Binks, did you see they're doing a new, they're doing a game show? Like a Star Wars game show? Oh. Did you ever watch Legend of the Hidden Temple?
No.
It was like a Nickelodeon, like, game show where you would do, like, challenges and trivia and, like, go through, like, explore this, like, temple. And there were, like, guards that jumped out at you. Okay. It was so much fun. As a kid, I watched it so much. But they're doing, like, a Star Wars, like, Jedi Temple challenge thing, which, like, from what I read, kind of feels similar to it. It's like a kid's game show. I'm like, cool, I like kids' game shows. Like, when I was a kid, that was, like, my favorite thing to watch. Kids' game shows. Like, Nick Arcade. Did you ever watch that one?
No, I'm not a big game show guy.
Oh, yeah, I was, because that's all I had. I had the Game Show Network, and I had, like, so I've always watched a ton of game shows, but, or there was, like, Nickelodeon Guts, which was just, like, a big obstacle course. But they're doing this one, and it's hosted by Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. And I'm like, that's really great that he's getting more work into Star Wars.
Yeah.
After he almost killed himself because of the backlash. Yeah. People being dickheads for playing his character.
Yeah.
Like, you can dislike a character. Why do you bully actors? I say this every day.
Yeah, it's like they didn't...
Or direct, or anyone. What's the point of bullying someone?
Because, I mean, if George Lucas comes up to you, it's like 1996. I'm assuming that's like around the time they probably started working on the prequels. And, Star Wars is big. It's probably like the biggest trilogy at that point in time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because they had like Indiana Jones, but I don't think that was like nearly as big. Like Indiana Jones is big, but
yeah,
Star Wars was like changed things.
Exactly, and it's like,
Jaws 1 through 3.
I mean, there were trilogies, but I think
was the biggest.
Oh, well, there's technically 4 Jaws movies. You're leaving out Jaws: The Revenge.
We don't talk about that one. I haven't seen 2, 3, or 4.
I mean, honestly, I haven't seen them since I was a kid, but I think Jaws: The Revenge is more entertaining than the third one. But I digress on that. Where the fuck was I just now? Oh yeah, it's like imagine like mid to late 90s, George Lucas comes up to you and asks you, hey, you want to be part of the biggest and most popular franchise in the world that you probably grew up watching and love? Yes? Okay. And it's like, nowadays, I feel like my answer would be much different. Like, I feel like if someone nowadays, I could much more easily see an actor being like, fuck that, I don't want to be in Star Wars, because Star Wars fans can be vicious.
Yeah. It's like you have to be in Star Wars and just like block it out.
Yeah, exactly. And Star Wars is one of those franchises that's gonna,
like, I would, of course, on day one.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, yeah. So I'll play every character. I'd be like, I'll fight the fans. I don't give a shit. I'll fight them.
It's like one of those like roles that would stick with you till your grave because it's such a popular.
Yeah, exactly. But it's weird because like I was actually thinking about this yesterday about how like Marvel movies, they're really good at taking an actor that's good and just kind of overshadowing all of their like really good roles and be like, that's the Hulk.
Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to see that Dark Water.
I just saw it last night.
Did you?
It's really good.
Okay.
There's one part with like pretty bad CGI because like there's a part where like animals are getting sick and like kind of going rabid, and there's a part where an animal attacks, and there's it's pretty goofy looking, but the rest of the movie I like really loved.
Okay.
Like it's one of my favorite. I don't know if you know the guy David Ehrlich. He's a reviewer on Letterboxd. I think he's one of the most popular ones. He works for IndieWire, like he's a professional reviewer.
Okay.
But his review is just like a great addition to the they knew genre. And that's like I love like based on true story, like they knew films.
Oh yeah, because it spreads awareness of the kind of shit that goes on every single day.
But that's exactly it, Mark Ruffalo. And he was in, like, Spotlight as well, and which you need to watch. That's in the same thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's about, priests in, like, a big church, like, touching kids and the church protecting them.
Oh, is it about the whole scandal where they move them around?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly it. He's like, darn! But he's like a really great actor. And the same thing for Chris Evans. I think Chris Evans is fantastic. And I think they both do elevate the Marvel films. Like, without them, I don't think I would care about the Hulk, besides being like, he's big and green.
Yeah, no.
And he's like, the first time I cared about Captain America was when Chris Evans played him. But.
Yeah, because they've got pretty, like, service-level writing, honestly, but, like, the actors bring so much charisma that kind of make it seem a lot more three-dimensional than it really is.
Yeah.
And it really adds a lot to the movies.
So But I think Star Wars, for whatever reason, all the actors are able to usually break out of it. Like, at least in the original trilogy, like, Mark Hamill, he got really successful doing voice work and stuff. Harrison Ford was already, doing stuff.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher didn't really, but that's unfortunate. Like, she got
super into drugs
and stuff, but she got back. Like, she was really healthy again. Yeah. And then passed away. Which was sad.
I've been like seeing a lot of like just Carrie Fisher clips circulating around the internet.
Carrie Fisher's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, she was so funny.
Yeah.
So sad.
And even the new one, like, Daisy Ridley's been in a couple things. Like, she was in Ophelia, which just came out. And she's in Chaos Walking, I think it's called. It's a script by Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah.
That's her and Tom Holland.
I've heard not very good things about that one.
I don't think anyone's seen it.
Huh?
I don't think anyone's seen it yet.
I think Adam did from YMS. I think he saw it at a festival. Or maybe not. Maybe I just heard things through like the grapevine. But I know that Charlie Kaufman didn't like write it. He was just like it was kind of like one of those paycheck gigs to kind of like he went in and kind of touched up someone else's.
I don't think it'll be nearly as good as the like other Kaufman films because it's by director Doug Liman. If you know him, he's done some good stuff. Like he did Edge of Tomorrow, which I've heard really good things about.
Okay.
For like Groundhog Day, but guns.
All you need is kill.
Yes. And he did like The Bourne Identity, which I haven't seen, but I've heard the Bourne movies are pretty good, and I've heard that might be the best one.
Is The Bourne Identity the first one?
Maybe. I think so, because I think it was Bourne Identity and then Bourne Ultimatum. No, Bourne Supremacy was the second one, then Bourne Ultimatum.
Okay.
And then Jason Bourne. And then Bourne Legacy. No, Bourne Legacy, then Jason Bourne. Bourne Legacy was the Jeremy Renner one.
I was going to say.
He beats his wife.
In real life?
Yeah. Well, no, but it came out that like he was like, I'm going to fucking kill you. It was what?
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yikes.
What are you doing?
So maybe Hawkeye won't be in the Marvel movies anymore.
Good.
Because
he really wasn't up until Infinity War recently anyway, so...
He's like, what if we make him the villain of the first Avengers by making him like, oh, I'm being brain control. I hate the first Avengers.
Yes,
people are like, this is the best movie ever. They're like, do you remember the funny part where the Hulk grabs Loki and goes boo, boo, boo? And I'm like, that wasn't funny.
Like, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's pretty badly lit.
Did I give you a soda?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's right here. Yeah, no. I don't hate the Avengers. I don't particularly like the first Avengers movie, but I fucking hate Age of Ultron.
It's just funny because I don't mind Age of Ultron. I haven't seen it in a while. I kind of want to rewatch them, but I'm afraid if I rewatch like the entire MCU, I'll just not like the vast majority of the first.
I don't think you would.
Like the first phase, I thought was pretty bad. Like the only one I actually liked from the first phase is the first Captain America, and I barely liked that one.
Yeah, I really liked the first Captain America. I think the first half is extremely better than the second half, because the first half is like a really nice character story.
Yeah.
And then the second half, they're like, all right, superhero movie, go! It's like, wait, no, I want to focus on like Chris Evans being a fucking monkey in a suit dancing.
I'm a monkey suit!
Because he draws that picture of the monkey.
Yeah.
And it's like, But... yeah, no, because I want to do that, like, a ranking for the channel eventually, and I want to rewatch through them just so I can, like, have it set in stone, like, yes, this is my for sure opinion, because it's been so long since I've seen so many of them, but it's like, I don't want to rewatch through 22 movies where I don't even like most of them.
I mean, I'll probably like most of them, but it's just like a movie that's a 6 out of 10. I'm like, I don't really have any reason to rewatch this movie. I'm like, I've seen so many movies that are good.
See, I was lucky because I didn't watch any of them pre-Spider-Man Homecoming, and then they got Spider-Man. Like, oh shit. Well, I
remember that.
Kind of like a continuity nut, so I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to watch all these movies. So I just binged through all the bad ones, and I was like...
I still haven't seen Thor 2.
Oh, it's so bad.
I've heard.
Oh, but, so I, like, binge-watched all of them, and then I got to Spider-Man, and I was like, okay, I'll just watch, like, Spider-Man and, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, and call it good. But, yeah, I kind of looked out, because around that point was the point where Marvel actually kind of started learning and, like,
which is funny, because there are still people that stand by that the Phase 1 was the best. I'm like, are you fucking... Did you watch those movies?
Yeah,
I stand by that. I think the first Iron Man is awful.
Like, yeah.
I hate that movie.
I personally don't mind the first Iron Man. I think that all 3 of the Iron Man movies are like half good movies. There's like half a good movie in each one of them, but they're weighed down by a bad half. And
but the nice thing about the second one is at least the bad half is like stupid bad, so I can like it's kind of
the first one's just kind of boring.
Yeah, exactly. Like the second one, I'm like, this guy has electro whips and he's talking about his bird.
Yeah.
And Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell is nice. I do enjoy me some Sam Rockwell.
Oh yeah. So we were talking about Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and Plo Koon, what we watched, and you were watching the original Star Trek?
Yeah, some season 3 episodes.
How many seasons are there? 4?
There's 3.
3. You're almost there, Thomas!
Yeah, I'm on the final and worst season.
Nice.
The one that got the show canceled. And then, I guess if you wanted to, you could count, like, the animated series as, like, the 4th season, because they did an animated series.
Oh.
I don't know if the voice cast returned for that or not.
I think so. I don't know a lot about it, but...
If the voice cast returns, I'll probably watch it.
Only George Takei did. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'll probably watch it eventually regardless. But if it's got, like, some of the main cast members, I might feel more incentivized to watch it up front.
So I watched a bunch of stuff. I watched a bunch of David Lynch short films.
Oh, yeah.
Made Pierre watch them. So we watched The Disc of Sorrow is Installed.
Yes.
That's a good one. I watched the PlayStation 2 ad he made.
I haven't seen it.
That's good. I watched, I think it's his first film.
The Grandma? Or the Grandmother?
No, like, it's like a short film. It's called The 6 Men Getting Sick. Came out in 1967.
Okay.
And I loved it. Pierre hated it. It's just it's like a sculpted, like, canvas is the screen of, like, these people's faces, and they're throwing up, and it goes on for about 6 minutes. And there's, like, this ambulance sound going on in the back, and I don't know, it spoke to me. Which is most of David Lynch, and Pierre's like,
a lot of his short films, like his early short films, were like half movies, half paintings.
Yeah.
It was like,
I also watched The Alphabet. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
That one's really good. It's kind of scary as fuck. I was like, the fuck is going on? Don't you creepily sing The Alphabet to me? And then we watched Pierre and Sunny Jim.
I have not seen that one. I've only seen like
it's on a green screen, and behind is like a farm, and the 2 characters, Pierre and Sunny Jim, are gloves that have been blown up, and they're going, I guess, and it's just that for 3 minutes, pretty much.
God, David Lynch.
And then one of them dies, and like explodes, and the other one's like, ah! And I thought it was really bad until it died, and then it was like, that was funny, but it was still bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I watched Blue Green, and I watched Steps. You seen Steps?
I have not.
It's a static shot of a flight of steps, and it's a time lapse of the shadows coming in with droning music. But it's actually good because, like, as like this huge shadow starts coming out, it's like, I'm like, ah,
interesting.
And I think that was the last one I really watched. Yeah. I need to get back into it. Yeah. Probably gonna watch Rabbit soon.
I would recommend Rabbits is in like Inland Empire. I don't know if it was made for Inland Empire, but he cuts to it a lot in Inland Empire.
Oh,
because I sat down and I watched like part of Rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen like the first 30 minutes of Inland Empire. I was like just super tired when I tried to watch it, and I just hadn't tried it again since. But I do need to get into it. But yeah, Rabbits is weird because it's really slow. There's a lot of like dead air parts, and they like say the lines spaced apart and out of order. So
that sounds like my jam.
Yeah,
it sounds like Peter related.
It's really weird, but it's enjoyable. I think I watched like 15 minutes of it or so, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it in Inland Empire when I get there, because I don't want to like watch Inland Empire to find out like this whole fucking film was like spliced in or something.
I would hope it's not the whole thing, because the thing's like 40 minutes, so Inland's just like the whole thing.
Inland Empire is like 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
It's like his longest movie, and it's kind of the movie that killed his career. Because he was like...
Dude? No, just kidding.
No, because after he made Mulholland Drive, he was like on the up and up, and then he made Inland Empire in 2006, and everyone was like, ooh, what the fuck, David? See, everyone likes David Lynch when they just have like the micro doses of him. That's why like everyone...
I feel like Inland Empire might just like knowing the kind of person I am, I'm just gonna be, that's my favorite.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's Lynch at his most unleashed.
You should make a video game.
They're doing a Twin Peaks VR video game right now.
Ooh, is he like a part of it?
I don't know.
He's like, what?
And
Playing it on your phone.
There is this game. It's not official, but it's like David Lynch teaches you how to type, and it's like somebody doing a David Lynch impression teaches you how to type, and it's like a typing game. It's weird, but it's kind of fun.
And he also made Black Baby.
I wish Black Baby had some Lynchian elements thrown in there.
What else did I watch? I watched a French horror film called Them.
I've heard of that one. I haven't seen it.
It's pretty decent.
I assume you're not talking about the one about giant ants.
No, I am not. But it was pretty good. It's like in the same time as like the Martyrs and all that jazz started coming out. It's not extreme like any of them.
Yeah,
it has some good build up and the acting's really good. It was good. It wasn't like amazing or anything, but I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. I rewatched Searching because I love that movie. The John Cho one.
Okay.
Where you're on the computer?
Yeah.
And then I watched Puppet Master 4, 5, and 6.
Oh.
And for the first time ever, I can say I like the Puppet Master.
The fifth one, right?
The fifth one.
Yeah.
Which is the one people don't like. I'm like, how do you like any of them?
I just have like... I watched them at like such a young age, so I just have like these like little glimpses of like just like streaks of memory from them. I think
4 and 5 really benefited from. They're the only ones that are like, well, I think the earliest ones that are like direct continuations. So the fifth one has like, whoa, these characters actually have like compelling arcs now, kind of, because they're like, whoa, they had a whole hour and 10 minutes to build them up.
Yeah, I never had the fourth one. I had...
Oh.
See, there used to be this video store called Movie Gallery, and you could, like, buy their VHS tapes for $1. So I had, like, the first two, the third one, the fifth one, and Retro growing up.
Ooh, with Greg Sestero.
Oh, is Greg Sestero in there?
He's the main character in Retro Puppet Master.
Oh, huh.
And then he went on to be in Room. The Room.
Yes.
Not Room. I wish he was in Room.
I didn't know he was in that. Man, that guy is just all over the camp.
Yep. And then 6 went back to being bad. But maybe I'll like Retro.
Maybe. I barely remember it.
I've heard it's really bad, but people said the 5th was bad, and that's the one I really like, so there's hope. And then I'll have to watch the rest of them. The 8th is Legacy, which is just a clip show with like 5 minutes of new stuff.
I would just watch the 5 minutes.
No, I'm going to watch it all because I'm a psychopath.
Oh,
also because it's been almost a year since I watched 1 through 3, so maybe it'll actually help. Doubt it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then I watched Absentia, which is Mike Flanagan's first, one of his first things.
That name.
He did Doctor Sleep.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Before I Wake.
Yeah.
The second Ouija film.
Didn't he do Gerald's Game?
Yeah,
And, like,
which
the
I heard is
House
good.
of,
He did Haunting of Hill House, and he did Hush, which I don't like, and he did Oculus. I've talked about him on the podcast before. I don't think he makes good third acts.
Yeah.
Like, pretty consistently.
I remember liking Oculus when I saw it.
Me too, but I remember not really liking the third act.
I barely remember the third act. All I remember truly is like the scene where he thinks he's eating an apple and it turns out to be like a light bulb.
Ah, yes. I want to rewatch Oculus.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it at some point too, especially because it's got my girl Amelia Pond in it, who's I can't think of the actress's actual
Karen Gillan.
Thank you.
You seen Jumanji?
I haven't seen the sequel to Jumanji. I don't like the first Jumanji, and I don't
either, but I like that one. I rewatched that one.
I don't like Kevin Hart or Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You don't like The Rock?
I don't.
He's a nice man.
I'm sure he is. I don't. He's one of those. I'm just cynical. I don't like actors who really don't bring a lot to the table outside of their charisma, and he's one of those dudes who just brings his charisma.
Well, you should watch Jumanji. He kind of has, because he's playing a different character inside his body. So there's at least somewhat of, Yeah. Actually, you wouldn't like Jumanji. I did. I really like Jumanji, but you might not.
I probably wouldn't.
Anyway, Jumanji: The Next Level comes out next week, and I'm excited. Because
I'm excited.
The Rock does a Danny DeVito impression. That's fun.
If it's anything like in the trailers, it didn't really seem like much of an impression.
But anyway, Absentia was bad, but it was very low budget, and a lot of the acting was really bad. But there were some neat elements. It was all about this like haunted tunnel, pretty much. Okay. Like a tunnel you run through, and then you get grabbed and like pulled into the side, and dead.
Huh.
Or not really dead. They like feed on your soul forever.
Oh, nice.
Like there were some pretty scary elements. It was probably one of Mike Flanagan's like scariest films in some regards, but it was bad still. It was unfortunate. So I've seen most of his films, and I think more than half of them I thought were bad. And I'm like, just make a better movie, please. Because when he does make good movies, like I really like Dr. Sleep, personally, and I liked Oculus, and I liked Haunting of Hill House, but same thing, I didn't like the third act. But
have you seen the original Haunting? That's what the original adaptation
but
is.
I've seen the remake with Owen Wilson. I remember really liking it as a kid. I don't know why.
I saw it like once. So I've seen it twice, but I've really only seen it once when I was a little kid, because my parents took me when I was like a baby to see a double feature of Phantom Menace and the remake of
That's a weird double feature.
I don't know what the fuck was going. I don't know if it was like an official double feature or if they just called it a double feature because they went to go see two movies.
Oh.
I don't know what was going on there, but it's just how it was described to me.
Oh, because phantoms haunt things.
There we go. We found the common thread.
And then on the plane back, I rewatched 12 Angry Men finally.
Oh, I need to watch that. I got the Criterion for it now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you told me that like 3 weeks ago. You're like, I'm going to watch it maybe this week.
I did. I'm so indecisive because I'll buy a bunch of movies and I'll be like, which movie do I want to watch? Yeah. And then I don't end up watching any of them because I spend too much time deciding which one I want to watch. And then suddenly I'm like, I got 45 minutes before I got to go to bed.
So if I have time this Christmas, I probably won't because I got to rewatch the Star Wars films. But I was like, I should do this. The 12 Days of 12 Angry Men, where I watch it once a day for 12 days straight. And in each review I make, I focus on one of the jurors because there's 12.
Okay.
So I might do that.
Is there enough substance to each one of them?
I think there is. I think that movie's only an hour and a half, and I think every character's incredibly interesting on certain levels.
See, I like movies that can instill a lot of information in a very short amount of time and have just stuff that you could read into.
Obviously, Henry Fonda is like the main character.
Yeah.
He's juror 7, I think, or 8. But God, he's so good in that. God, that movie's so fucking good. And then on the plane, I'm like, started watching Mad Max Fury Road, and I'm like, this will be fine. It's just an action movie. And I'm like, oh God, there's tits everywhere. I forgot. So I turned it off. And then I watched Knives Out 2 days ago, finally.
How was it?
Oh my God, I love it. I think it's my second favorite movie this year.
Okay.
It was so good. It was so funny. It was funny.
Yeah, I could tell it's definitely going to have that, like, comedic.
Daniel Craig, like, adds most of the comedy, and then Ana de Armas, she's, like, amazing in the role. She's the best performance in that.
Okay. There's a few different movies I want to see that are playing currently, so one of these days I'm going to have to venture up to the theater and just have a fucking theater day.
And then Dark Waters was amazing. I watched that yesterday.
Yeah, because I want to watch Dark Waters, I want to watch Knives Out, and I want to watch...
Waves just came out.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's in theaters right now. I might see it later.
Fuck. I want it, because that's one I've been waiting for.
Yeah, because all the trailers have just said, coming soon. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I checked the theater going, what?
Yeah.
It's out?
The
Playmobil movie's out.
Oh. The thing I hate about, like, the Regal we have here is, like, we'll get, like, the wide release dates, and it's like, oh, look, and it won't be on there. And then, like, a week later, someone will be like, oh, yeah, it's at Regal. I'm like, what? God damn it. So it's always, like, a week delay from when it's wide release. Like, I was just looking on there the other day for Adam Sandler.
Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems, yeah. 'Cause I think that one's...
The wide release is Christmas.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was, like, December 8th.
No, I'm pretty sure it is Christmas. I'm probably actually going to the theater on Christmas. Because I'm just like, I have nothing else to do, so I'll probably watch that.
I'm going to work, so...
Nice. You want me to come help?
I probably won't need it. It's more of just there to maintain attendance.
And then yesterday I also saw Frozen 2 in theaters, which I like the first Frozen, and I like this one.
I thought the first Frozen was okay.
I enjoyed this one. I don't think the music was quite as good, but...
Yeah, I haven't heard any music from it, so that's...
Into the Unknown, I think, is the big one that people really like. And that was probably my least favorite song in there. Like, it was fine, but I'm just like, I don't get it. Why are people, like, circle jerking this song?
Yeah,
Let It Go.
Oh my god, because when fucking the first one came out, the songs from that were everywhere.
They still are.
Yeah, they still are.
Oh, speaking of Dark Waters, I also saw another They Knew movie. I saw The Report. Because that's on Prime now. It's the one with Adam Driver. If you've seen that one.
No.
The trailer for that one at all.
I don't think so.
Okay. It's about this guy named Daniel Jones, who was the lead investigator in like a U.S. Senate study on like the CIA's detention and interrogation program, which was like
Yikes.
Pretty fucking yikes, yeah. Because it was, like, made in response to, like, the events of 9/11. And these two psychologists that didn't know what the fuck they were doing came in with a program that was designed to, like, torture people and get information. But it was just, it never worked. There was one person that they waterboarded him, like, 180 times. And he just didn't give up any information that, like, didn't work. He just kept lying to them. He just kept saying information that was completely false. But I really like that one. I know some people are saying that was kind of slow, but I was like, oh my god! Adam Driver's really good in it.
Okay.
It's like, they fucking killed a guy. He's like freaking out. I'm like, oh, Adam Driver!
Huh. I'll have to check that one out. Because I like Adam Driver.
I rewatched A Taxi Driver with my dad.
Oh, nice.
Song came home.
It's a good one. I've been thinking about rewatching that one.
Well, that's my jam. And then, only other thing I watched was a new Netflix animated movie called I Lost My Body. It's a French animated film, like an adult animated one.
Huh. About
a guy, a disembodied hand that walks around the city.
Oh.
It, like, fights a bird, and it fights a pack of rats. And it's just, like, trying to survive. It's trying to get back to its body.
Well, yeah.
But I really like that one. I've been on a good the last couple weeks. I'm like, I've been watching a lot of good movies. I've been happy.
Yeah.
I watched Puppet Master 4 and 6. But
Yeah, you even out the playing field a little bit.
I gotta watch I might watch Puppet Master 7 today.
Oof.
I'm starting I'm gonna do a bunch of like challenges because people on Letterboxd do like challenges and stuff. So I'm gonna do a Full Moon Friday, where every Friday I watch either an Empire or a full moon film because they're the same exact company.
Yeah.
Except Empire seemed to actually make good movies like Reanimator and From Beyond. But that's one of the things I'll do. If you want to join me, we can do like a little challenge.
Definitely not weekly. I'd probably be down to join you some weeks though.
Yeah. So there was me talking about all the films I saw. Yeah, and then I'm caught up with Mandalorian, which has 5 episodes out. And
I haven't watched any of it yet because I'm waiting until I rewatch the original trilogy.
fair enough.
It takes place after 6, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think like 5 years or something like that. For like,
okay.
Werner Herzog's running around going, "Hey, hold on, Grief Karga sent you."
It sounds
epic.
Yeah.
Lucero watched the first episode yesterday. Yesterday, fucking Lucero and my sister just showed up at my door. He's like, "My phone died. Can I charge it here?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like laying down. Or, no, not yesterday. Maybe the day before. I don't know. Since I've been back, I've just kind of been hanging out, laying down.
Huh.
Oh, that was funny, though. Okay, let's get into questions.
Okay.
We have a question from the man, the myth, the legend, Pierre, the Joingle. Okay. I was thinking about the original Star Wars movies and remembered how George Lucas has added and modified these films over the years. I want to know what you guys think of a creator going back and revising their past work once it is out in the public. Should movies get updates?
My opinion on this matter is I think it is perfectly acceptable if a director wants to go back and make edits to their film. I think that's totally fine as long as they make it so you can still access the original version.
Yeah.
That's
like
the thing that pisses me off most about George Lucas and like the Star Wars thing.
Like directors, if you want to recut your movie, do whatever you want. If you want to add stuff, do whatever you want. It's your movie.
Like Francis Ford Coppola just did like another edit of Apocalypse
But you can get like all of them.
And the 4K for the new version has all the previous versions on it too, and it's like, okay, perfect.
That's a little much. He has like 7. I'm like, okay, buddy, that's a little too much.
Assuming the director doesn't go and like make edits like every 2 years or so. I mean, assuming that they do it just like maybe once or twice. But yeah, I think that they definitely Disney. You should release like a fucking 4K of Star Wars.
I'm thinking that maybe part of like knowing George Lucas, maybe part of like the acquisition was he's like, you can't release.
I haven't seen anything about it, and I've heard that Disney like has the rights to them. I think that they've just been holding it back either to do like a 4K restoration.
Because they probably would want to because, but the video quality is significantly worse compared to like the last release of the special edition.
Yeah.
Just because that's been constantly updated.
Because I know that the original trilogy is 4K on Disney Plus. I think
so.
That's what I've heard, but
I think so. I think all of them
special editions.
Yeah.
Which I will say, if he wants to leave, the one edit from those movies that I do kind of like is the end of Empire when they're in Cloud City. I like all the atmosphere shots that they added of Cloud City.
I mean, most of the special edition I'm fine with. Like, I don't really like the no thing, but like everything else.
I don't like.
And if I'm going to be completely honest, I like Jedi Rocks as a song more than whatever the fuck the first one was called.
I don't know, but I don't know. I don't like the shots of like the fucking like speeder coming in to the bar, and there's just a bunch of like obviously pasted CGI shit just walking around over the front of it. And they add like scenes
I don't like
to
the Greedo Han thing,
Yeah, that's awful. I don't like, they kind of like butcher the pacing of A New Hope by adding in like the scenes. Like I feel like the pace to the original cut is like really just snappy and good, and it kind of just
we'll see how I feel about it when I rewatch. So I'm probably gonna, if I have time today, I'll probably start my rewatch today with episode 1.
Oh,
The Phantom Dennis.
Yeah, I just watched the prequel trilogy like the other week. So
okay. I would like to know your opinion on hygiene. Am I crazy to think that everyone should bathe at least once a day?
I mean,
I think so.
You think he's crazy?
Yes, I don't think bathing once a day is good, especially like fully bathing. Like taking a quick rinse is fine, but like fully bathing can be like bad for your skin for certain types of people, and also like if you have long hair, it's bad to wash your hair every day.
Yeah.
But Pierre is also bald, or his head's shaved, so he can do whatever he wants. He also drinks shampoo, so.
Oh.
Well, he used to. I don't know if he still does. Probably.
I mean, I shower every day, and I like that people should try to stay clean and not like smell bad.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if they don't want to shower, I mean, it's a free fucking country. They can be as stinky as they want, you know?
Lastly, do you know if David Lynch is dead? If he is not, someone needs to ask him to fix the audio in all of his films. Seriously, he has to be dead or something.
He's not.
Or deaf.
He might be a little on the deaf side. He does talk kind of loud.
Phones!
Get real. Watching a movie on
He's not dead? Are you sure?
Unless he died within like the last 2 days and I just haven't seen it.
Within the last 5 minutes.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Which is fortunate because we've lost so many of the classic Lynch actors.
Yeah, like Bub.
Like fucking
the big boy from Eraserhead. What was his name? Big
Jack
boy?
Nance.
Yeah, Big Boy.
We lost Jack Nance. We lost Jack Nance's first wife.
Big girl.
Can't remember her name. She plays the log lady in Twin Peaks, though.
Oh yeah, the log lady from Twin Peaks. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, you'll come to know her.
I think I'll probably watch Twin Peaks after I finish all of the Lynch films. Might save that for last.
That's fair enough because Twin Peaks: The Return is has a lot of callbacks to a lot of his movies.
Okay.
And
it has Matthew Lillard.
It does. It has Matthew Lillard in it. But yeah, no, Twin Peaks is fucking great. I love Twin Peaks.
Epic.
But yeah. Was that it for the questions?
Yep, that's it. Thanks, Pierre.
Yeah, thanks.
You got a movie idea?
Okay. So, it's a movie, and it's like a horror movie about a dude who gets abducted, and he's like chained down in some dude's basement, and he's like stuck in a gorilla costume. Because this dude's like, I really want a gorilla, but I can't get my hands on one, so I'm just gonna abduct this guy. And I'm gonna make you act like my pet gorilla, and if you disobey, I'll like beat you or something. I don't know. So it's like a horror movie about this dude who has to like pretend to be a gorilla, but he's just being held hostage.
Is this by Kevin Smith?
No.
Is it Tusk 2?
No, it's not quite Tusk 2. He's not he doesn't get surgically transformed into a gorilla.
I hate Tusk so much.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Fleetwood Mac song quite a bit, but
have you said this idea before? Because this sounds very familiar.
No, but
I did one about a robot suit where they make him act like a robot.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I pull most of the movie ideas out of my ass on the spot.
Nice.
I remember at one point I told you about like Monkey Movie May, which was like this horror movie review series idea that I had. But
monkey movie. Okay, here's my idea. It's about a race car driver.
Okay.
Who's like super mysterious. Nobody really knows anything about him. And that turns out it's because he's like 5 monkeys on top of each other.
I love it. It's got a monkey in it. I'm sold.
It's just about like them like trying to, they only speak in like grunts, so they aren't like found out. There's
and they, they're like, wow, this guy really loves bananas.
Yeah.
And he's very good at racing cars.
Oh.
And farting. And it turns out his main nemesis in it, his parents died in a monkey accident.
Wait. Hold on. The main character who was 5 monkeys.
Yeah.
Parents died.
No. Their main rival, race car rival.
Oh. Does the rival know that this person is 5 monkeys on top of each other?
He
He's just like,
suspects.
he's like, no one believes me. Is he like a Crocker from like?
He's like, no one man could be this good at driving, but 5 monkeys.
I love it.
Yeah, and he's French.
Of course, just like Talladega Nights.
Oh fuck! No, then he's Swedish.
Oh, there we go. I don't know of any Swedish antagonists.
That's why it was, because I don't know if there's monkeys in Sweden. That was why it was so like bizarre.
I don't know if there are.
Because a monkey broke into his house when he was 4 years old and shot his parents with a shotgun.
He's just like, what the fuck is going on?
And at the end of the movie, it turns out like the 5 monkeys show him a picture of, because they were actually a detective before they were a race car driver, and they were assigned to the case. And it turns out it wasn't a monkey, but a guy in a gorilla suit.
Oh my god, my head just exploded. This is awesome. All right. Let me pull up.
And it'll be called like the business of monkeying around. No, 5 monkeys, 1 race car.
No,
5 monkeys, 1 race.
You gotta just go to the right studio and sell it as a Diddy Kong Racing live action movie. That way it has the brand recognition.
It turns out that gorilla that killed them was actually Funky Kong.
I like it. Needs to be made. 10 out of 10.
My greatest idea yet. Okay. We're ready to talk about The Hero?
Yeah. So our first movie is from 1966 called The Hero from Satyajit Ray. And yeah, it's basically
boring.
It kind of was. Just being up front here, I wanted to like this movie a lot more than I did because I had seen... so my background with how I discovered this movie, I'm on like a Facebook group where people like post a bunch of like film clips. Wow! And I saw the money dream sequence.
I love that sequence.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, this movie looks awesome. So I picked it, and it was the best sequence in the whole fucking movie, probably. Yeah, I'd probably say that. Yeah, so basically, I'm just going to give, like, the Spark Notes version of this, because I didn't take, like, detailed notes. But there is this actor. Let me look up the guy's name.
The actor's name? Like, the character's name?
The character's name.
It's...
Uttam?
It's fucking... Arindam Mukherjee.
Oh, okay. Uttam is... I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Uttam Kumar is the guy who played.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Autumn. No, it's Utah.
I can guarantee that.
Oh man, I feel so bad. I'm gonna fucking slaughter
It's okay.
some Indian names.
We're gonna do it together.
So Arendam? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Arendam.
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 Alright, let's go with that pronunciation. Sorry, anyone who's listening who's like, that's wrong, let us know in the
So
comments.
he gets an invitation to go to Delhi.
Yeah, he's winning an award. He doesn't really want to go, but he decides to anyway.
He's worried about his new film.
Yeah.
It's not doing very well. It's in its second week.
He's like a big egomaniac. He's like, I'm one of those actors that needs to be like at the top constantly, and his current film's not doing very well. And he also he's like all over in some papers. There's like a story going around about him punching it.
Yeah. He's
dude
like,
in
I
the
beat
face.
the shit out of them.
Yeah. And he explains like the situation up front. Like some dude was just kind of like giving him a hard time in front of a couple ladies. So he's just like, it needed to be done.
In front of women.
Yeah.
Women shouldn't see anything.
So he gets on this train, and the first half hour of the movie is introducing us to mostly irrelevant characters who don't really have much to do with what's going on. Because we meet, like, the family that's in, like, his car.
Yeah. The daughter that's sick with a fever.
And she's got, like, a big crush on him. And then we meet, like, a journalist and her two friends. And then there's, like, this other couple that are like trying to get a movie deal, and this was the most pointless out of
I was like, what's going on here?
I'm like, what's the fuck?
Is this supposed to mirror, like, the rise and top, the journey? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with what they were doing with it. It just took too much of the screen time, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine to have subplots. I thought it was somewhat interesting, because he was, like, trying to get his wife to, like, help him get it,
Yeah.
He was pressuring his wife. Like, there were some interesting elements, but I was like, dude, this is, like, half the movie.
Yeah, and it's like, there were points where you thought, like, the two storylines are going to collide, because it was, like, that one part where he's, like, creeping past the wife in, like, the hallway, and it's like, oh, they're going to start talking here, and it was, like, right around halfway through the movie, so it would have made sense, but nope. Instead, he passes her, and they don't talk until, like, the last 2 minutes of the movie, where it's literally just like, oh, tell your husband to come see me. It's like, all right, well, that plot line was just fucked.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, this actor is, like, smitten with this journalist, and he starts, like, just telling her in-depth details about his life and kind of, like, shittier things he's done. And
especially as he, like, starts getting drunker and drunker.
Yeah,
because he's an alcoholic. He said that, and there's who's that old guy on the train?
He's like an old actor, I think.
Okay, he was in silent films or something. He's
yes. I believe
he's
so.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
he's
no,
like,
I really
he's got like hair coming out of his ears. He's like, hello.
I'm 76.
He's like, as a rule, films are bad.
I don't like the smell of booze.
He's like, what's the point of drinking? He's like, if you've never tried it, I can't tell you.
Yeah, and it's like, basically this old dude just kind of serves to, I don't know, tell him not to drink, kind of act as a moral guide at certain points, even though, and basically it's just like, the main actor is like kind of reflecting on his life. We learned that he used to be like a theater actor, and he had this like director who he really respected, and he was like a really good actor. But
he's like, films are for sycophants.
Yeah, he's like, films, no substance, plenty of money that you get from it, but it's not
Shankarda, I think his name was.
Yeah. So he like offers him, or so he's like, turn down that film role, keep doing the real acting here. And it's like he ends up just dying in an accident shortly after. And so our main actor is like,
kind of made me suspicious. I'm like,
yeah, it's like,
I'm like, did the friend kill him?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either, but I was like, sure.
yeah. But
Here, wait. Let's get Joe's real quick mini review of the movie. He watched it with me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, that was all right.
Thank you, Joe.
I liked the old man.
Do you like the money scene?
And the dream sequences. Both of the dream sequences were pretty.
What was the other dream sequence?
He was like running down a hill. It was like really dark. You could like barely see like some trees in his face.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
I don't remember what happened in it except that, but I remember
he went to like a party thing, and then he punched.
Oh
the guy
yeah,
in the face.
he dreamed about them punching the guy in the face.
I don't remember that specific part.
It was like pretty close to the end.
I was probably just like catatonic at that point in the story.
I was like the last like 10 minutes. I'm like falling asleep. Like, I was just very tired last night as well.
Oh my god! Yeah, I really wanted to like this movie because I heard this director's really acclaimed.
Yeah, no, I really want to watch that trilogy.
Yeah, I want to watch the Apu trilogy.
There's another movie he made.
There's another one.
Jesus Christ, you're curing so loud!
There's like another movie he does that has like a female lead that's on my list. It's like Charlotte. I don't know. I don't.
Charlie Day.
Charlie Day. Let me see if I can find it at like the top of it.
Oh, I've heard the music room's really good.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Charlotta. Hey, is that the same lady?
It might be.
Nope. I'm just racist. My bad.
Oh.
My bad. Okay, so where were we?
Yeah, we were just talking about like his director and how he died, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take up film acting," and yeah, basically,
his friends like convinces him. He's like, "Well, do you think film acting's bad?" He's like, "Well, you can work every day and make 33 rupee a year. Maybe get like $1,000 bonus every year, or what did he say? 3,300, something like that.
He's like,
330 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, or you can be a big star and make 33,000 per picture. I'm like, yeah, I did it. I do that too.
Yeah, I know. He's like the true strat there to do. You act in film and on stage.
Yeah. Whoa!
Whoa! Who did?
So do what makes you happy.
A what?
Do what makes you happy.
Exactly. It's like if you need a movie, do a fucking bad picture and get some cash, and then just go back to the stage until you run out of money. But yeah. So basically, he's just spilling the beans to this reporter the whole movie, and you know, she's kind of like back and forth on like how she feels about him throughout the movie. Like there are some scenes where she seems like she's just like utterly like repulsed by him.
She's like she's an interesting character because she's like, you know, a feminist. You know, she has her own.
Yeah.
The article she's writing is for a newspaper. Did she make it or did she help make it?
I don't.
It's something similar, but it's like all produced by women. I'm like, that's big. You know?
Yeah.
1966 India, that's huge.
Exactly.
And I really liked her, and I like the two main characters a lot, and I like their stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is this other thing happening?
Yeah, if this movie wasn't like weighed down by like the B plot, it would have been much better. Yeah. And it
could have been like an hour and 20 minutes as well.
Yeah, it did not need to be like 2 hours.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, yeah, we must be almost done. And I look at the clock, I'm like, it's only been an hour?
But yeah, he basically like just explains his life story. Basically, he blows up as an actor from that point.
Yeah.
I don't really think he dives much further into his life story outside of that.
I mean, he talks about how like
it's been like
he was like super egotistic even from the very get go because like the first movie he's in was with a really big guy.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he was like the big huge name at that point.
Yeah,
and he was like, even from that point, I knew he's bad at acting.
Yeah, because there's that one scene where basically it's like the divide between the two eras of film because he's acting like this big old film actor, and he does a scene where he like mumbles a line because this character.
He doesn't even really mumble. He just talks in like a low cadence, like a low voice.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Why are you talking so quietly?"
He's like, "Well, you're playing my father, and a lot of men are like intimidated by their fathers, so it makes sense that my character would kind of be a bit reserved with this line." He's like, "No, this is a picture. You got to talk loud and clear for the audio, so the audience can hear you." It's like very much the difference in between like early talkies and like movies that were made in the 60s where the audio had improved quite a bit.
Yeah,
since
it's like
then.
the third, early talkies, you kind of have to overact with your voice at least sometimes. You're like, ah!
Yeah, or else it'll just be eaten by the grain.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what? But...
And then it cuts to like a couple years later when the old man like visits him. And like
he doesn't have any
the
work.
main character is really scared because there's this big thing. There's this big idea that if you get 3 flops in a row, you're pretty much done for. Like, you're done. No more movies for you.
Which, I mean, back then, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's not like...
there are cases now that are similar to that, but
yeah,
it doesn't happen all the time.
Because if you're working with, like, a big studio, nowadays, at least there's, like, an independent, like, if not, like, independent cinema, then there's, like, online you can fall back onto. Like, there... But back then...
just get a Netflix original show.
Exactly. No. But, like, back then, if you fucked up and the studio didn't want to back you anymore, you would just basically be gone. And just kind of be acting locally unless you had a lot of money to do, like, distribute your own work. But, yeah, basically he's just super fearful. This old actor comes to him and is like, "Please, just give me a part, just a bit part in one of your movies as a security guard." And of course he doesn't do it because he's an asshole. And
he's kind, but also he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. So he's like progressively just becoming more drunk as the movie goes on. It's like a part that I thought was going to have like a bigger consequence, like when he like stumbled drunk into his room.
And he just kind of goes to bed.
Yeah.
And then the wife of the mother that shares the place with him, like takes off his shoes, and I was just laughing. I'm like, she should just steal them.
I don't know where your shoes went. You were drunk last night. Threw them out the window.
But yeah. And then there's like a point in the film where he's like super drunk and he's like outside and it looks like he's contemplating suicide because he's just like dead focused on like the
I really like this part. He's like,
yeah, no, I like that part too.
Is he gonna fucking kill himself?
Yeah, and then but he had like requested that the journalist had like come see him. He's like, "Hey, go find that journalist," to like some employee on the train. He's like, "Go find that journalist. Tell her that I want to see her right now." So she shows up and like it pulls him inside, and basically it's like this is like right around the end of the film. He's like, "Go ahead, write your piece. Kill my career."
Yeah, and they talk, and he talks about like pretty much how he's horribly like scared of everything, and like he's like all my life, like every time I'm in a movie, I'm like, this is going to be the one,
Yeah.
And there's this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like, the dream sequences I thought were great, and like the dialogue between them was I thought really good.
Yeah, I like all the parts that like really focused on the characters.
Yeah,
I liked.
Yeah,
it was just everything else that just felt like it was just like, ugh, this movie could have been shorter than it was. But yeah, basically then they meet the next day, and it's like the last day on the train. They're about to arrive, and she rips up all her notes that she took and drops them in a glass of water. She's like, "You're going to remember them. You're just going to write them from memory." She's like, "No, I'm not. I don't give a fuck about you." She doesn't say that, but she should.
Fuck you.
But yeah, and then basically he gets off the plane and leads a happy life from this point on. I don't know. The movie just kind of ends.
Well, probably maybe kills himself.
Maybe this movie flops and doesn't do too good, and he does kill himself.
I like the ambiguous, like, ending, like, that leaves, you know, I just wish the movie was better, or I'm like, because it's also, like, most people like it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so maybe I gotta talk to somebody about why they like it so much. Maybe I'm missing something with the B plot, you know? Like,
maybe.
But I also didn't think the B plot was very well acted. I didn't really like the people there. Like, so I didn't really get involved as much, I guess. And it was like, the B plot was fine if it was there, if it was like 10 minutes, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah, no, it was just too much.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You know, there were some really good shots, like when the two dream sequences, and, you know, on a train you can't have a lot of, like, great shots because you're on a train.
Yeah.
But there was some good shots. I like the shot of the rails, him, like, staring at the rails, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the dream sequences were well shot, and there's some good music in the dream sequences as well. It was like, I'm like, whoa!
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't have much more to say on this one. This one was pretty...
Yeah, me neither. I have a lot of stuff to say about Bomb City.
I've got a few things to say about Bomb City, yeah.
What did you give this one?
I would give this one a 5.
I am also sitting at a 5. I was thinking maybe a 6, but the more I talked about it, the more I'm like, no, I didn't like it.
See, I was thinking of 4, but there were things.
Yeah, I think we both we were like pulling each other.
Yeah, we kind of met somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, so 5 out of 10. It's okay.
Yeah, it's got some good sequences.
I'm sure you can find another movie by what's the guy's name?
Satyajit Ray.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find another movie by him that's better.
He's
made a
trilogy
ton of really good movies.
Really good.
Well, this was apparently really good too.
True, but the Apu trilogy is like his most popular. I think it's the one I.
Maybe I'll watch that soon.
Oh, I was like, what? This dude composed music for Orson Welles' The Stranger, and no, he just directed a different movie called The Stranger.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Ooh.
So right. Bomb City.
Bomb City. I watched this one with my dad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he really liked it. He really the next day he's like, man, that movie was good. I'm like, whoa! Like, I liked it a lot too, personally, but I wasn't like, yeah, man!
I liked it. See, I didn't know the story going into it, so Me
neither.
I was watching it and I thought it was going one way because of how they structured the film.
Yeah, I thought the structure was good for people that don't know the story, which I didn't, because I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Because the way that they set it up, I thought that jock guy was gonna get, killed. Yeah, because they even, were like, he was a good student. And I'm just like, oh, it's because he's, not a nerd. They structured purposely. So the way the film works is it's about this group of, punk rockers, punks. Yeah.
In, a conservative Texas town in, the 90s.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to say the events took place in 97, the year we were born. I think. Because I was like, whoa. Or maybe 96. And it opens up on this trial where this guy's talking shit. Well, actually, it opens up on
the big fights.
Yeah, they're fucking pulling into this shopping, just parking lot in the middle of the night, and there's a bunch of jocks and people at the end of the time, and then there's 5 punks that get out, and they have chains. They're walk towards them, and they just attack, and the movie cuts.
Yeah,
and then it cuts to the court, I think. And they're bad-mouthing punks, this lawyer. And then the movie, it cuts to, earlier on, and then it cuts back to the courtroom, and it does some funky stuff. I like the structure a lot. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. For the first, 45 minutes of this movie, I was pretty just meh. I was like, eh. But once it got to that last chunk of the movie, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? I got pulled in pretty good. Well,
I mean, I knew I was going to be more invested than you from the get-go, because I'm more invested in
punk movies in general, I guess. Because I'm more, like, attuned to the lifestyle, I guess.
I mean,
I never was a punk, but I liked punk music. I was in a punk band.
I like, I'm not like super deep into punk music, but I like a lot of punk music, and a lot of the bands I like have a lot of like that early punk influence into them.
Okay.
And yeah, my main problem was just I thought like I was like these characters are kind of dry, and the way that the film was like being shot, like I wasn't really a big fan.
There's some like
the way it was presented.
Yeah, there's some good cinematography later on though. I thought.
Yeah.
Especially, like, there's a scene where the main character, Brian, and his girlfriend are just sitting in a field.
Yeah.
I thought that was really pretty.
Yeah.
It might just be because it was the sunset, and I like sunsets. Like,
yeah, that golden hour light.
But, so the main character is Brian. He's a punk. He's a really nice guy. It seems like he just came back to town. They're like, hey, you're back, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was. He was just traveling around. But he goes to a punk show. He rocks out with, like, his brother and his friends. He meets, like, a little kid who's like, yeah, this is my first show. He's like, man, that's so cool. And he, like, shows him to the band. I'm like, yeah, man. And it's obviously showing, like, hey, look, punks can be really nice.
Yeah.
Right off the get-go. And then they go to, like, just, like, a diner.
Yeah.
Just to hang out. And there are these jocks in there. And immediately the jocks are like, oh, look at these fucking freaks, pretty much. And like a punk walks in, uses the bathroom, and then like walks out, and as he's walking out, he's like, hey, fuck you. And then calls him like a slur.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, we're doing this already. And he kind of brushes it off, but he's like,
yeah.
And then they're like looking in the window, and obviously they're both antagonizing each other now, but like the jocks did start it.
Yeah, they started it with a comment. While I don't like condone like any sort of behavior, I will say the punks did kind of take the bait and escalated it, because they go in and he's like, Brian's on the phone and he's like, just like flips the bird at him and shit, and it's like, all right, yeah. Now you're really...
No, they did escalate it, but I'm like, at least they didn't start it.
Yeah.
And then they, like, get into a fight, and the owner's like, get the fuck out. Go
take
fight
us outside.
I don't give a shit, just fight outside. And then they're, like, about to fight, and then more punks show up. And they're like, oh, we better leave.
Yeah.
And they like, throw something at their window. They're like, fuck you, man.
I'm still looking for the year that took place. I'm on the page.
I know it was 90s. Well, I guess I could just see what...
Let's see. I'm trying to find just the dude. The Brian.
It was 97.
Okay.
Well, I was about to say the end of the movie. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So, Brian is a nice guy, and they have this big art project going on where they take, like
road signs.
I don't know where they're getting... I don't know if they're stealing them, because it's hard to take off a road sign.
If I remember correctly, I think there is a scene where you see a couple of them, like, digging one out and pulling it out together and, like, putting it into the back of the truck.
And they pretty much just, like, redo the art signs, but they say, like, fun things, or they do artwork on them. It's really cool. They have a scene... The one scene that I really like the cinematography for is they have, like, this giant wire fence, and they have a bunch of these signs, like, just laid out. I'm like, that's so fucking cool. I'm like, I want to go to that town, because the signs are still up.
And
it's like one of the biggest art projects in the, like, history of the country, apparently. Like, that's what it said then. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm surprised I've never heard of this.
Probably because
of the things around it. They're like, hide it.
Yeah. Oh, we don't want people finding out about this.
So...
God, this movie pissed me off.
Yeah, me too.
Let's keep
as soon
going.
as I knew what happened, I knew what was going to happen, I guess. Like, I'm like, this is... I know what the justice system does.
I didn't as soon as it got to the scene where the big thing occurred, I based off contextual evidence that the scene had kind of laid out, I was like, oh, is this gonna happen? And then it happened. I was like, oh no.
There's a scene right from the get-go. They start to piss you off, though, because obviously, jocks are starting this with this niche group, because there's barely any punks.
Yeah, because the three that are in the diner are the main three jocks. There's or I guess the main two, and then there's a third one who doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But there's the runt of the litter, which, oh god.
Yeah, but the one with the dreads, is he there? No, he's not there at this first scene.
Is he not?
I don't think so. I think it's just him and two other guys.
I thought he was, because I couldn't tell they were dreads at first. I thought they were just. I thought
and that pisses me off even more, because it's I'll get to that.
Oh, why? Because he was a white guy.
Well, it's because a white person with dreads is already yikes.
But they're not real dreads. They are, but
they're badly maintained, because he knows it's obviously he's never talked to a black person in his life, and it's pretty obvious that this character would be afraid of black people if he met one.
Yeah,
but he constantly listens to gangster rap and pretends he's a gangbanger.
Yeah.
And he's a little bitch. And he has the fucking weird-ass thing in his car where he has whiskey come out of, his air conditioner, or his windshield wiper fluid he replaced with whiskey. And I'm like, why? But that's just the kind of stupid shit high schoolers do.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I was hopefully you cleaned that out thoroughly.
Really, really well.
Because if there's any bit of that fucking windshield wiper fluid in there, this is probably the equivalent of downing your whiskey with a taste of glass cleaner. But
after the diner scene, there's this big kind of mirroring thing where the punks they're going to abandoned buildings, buildings that are in disrepair, and they're spray painting them.
Yeah.
Which is whatever, they're abandoned. Hasn't used them. It's obvious that they've been abandoned for a while too.
Yeah.
And the cops show up, and they think they made their escape, and they go into their own house. I'm like, hey, okay, I know you're high schoolers or right out of high school, but that was fucking stupid. And then the police break in without a warrant or anything.
Yeah, they cut the power.
They cut the power. They use a battering ram.
They fucking just start macing.
Yeah, they're they're
after they're already restrained.
Yeah,
and
he just does it to. I don't think he does it to Brian. He does
it to the one that I really dislike, which I haven't said.
His name was
this point.
Ricky.
Yeah, but I really disliked that one. He was the one who made all the really dumb and irrational decisions that because the cops are quiet for a second. He's like, yeah, fuck you, pigs. And he's just really loud, and it's shut the fuck up, you goddamn moron. You're gonna get all your friends fucking caught. And then he's the one that is there when the shit goes down later, and he's the first responder.
Or was Ricky the main jock that dies?
Main jock who dies? What?
Anyway,
maybe. Tell me about it once we get to that point, and it might jog my memory, because I don't remember any of the jocks dying.
I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I think his name was Mike. I think might be it. Gosh, I'm bad at names, and this is the one I watched almost 2 weeks ago. So
I watched them both a week ago.
Let's just call him Mike. Anyway, Mike's prone to violence, and he's yeah, fuck this, But he hangs out with Brian a lot, and he's a nice guy enough, but he's
got issues.
He's just dumb.
Yeah.
Which I get. He's not as dumb as a lot of the jocks, but they get arrested and they get like, and then it just cuts them out of jail, like, later on. It's just showing, like, their treatment, obviously.
Yeah.
And then it shows,
there's
jocks and everybody.
They have, like, this big party where the windshield
with, like, a huge bonfire, too. Like,
there's
like,
tons of loud music.
Tons of loud music, tons of
and the cops,
underage drinking.
It's the same fucking cop.
Yeah.
He shows up and he's like, all right, guys, just go.
And he, like, shakes one of their hands, like, oh, see you later.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, such discrimination. Yeah. And, this is where it all goes down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because before this...
So Brian's, like, skating at night. One of the big things is he's just kind of skating at night, and they, like, throw something at his head.
They throw a bottle at his head.
Oh, yeah.
Beer bottle.
Oh, yeah. And he's, like, bleeding. Like, what the fuck?
He's like this.
So they get home, and he just kind of lets it go, pretty much. I don't know if he does anything in retaliation. I can't remember, but...
He might, like, say fuck you or something, but... Yeah, I mean...
But then they pull out one of the signs, like the art signs, and they throw it through the window.
Yeah, and that Mike, is that
Mike is the only one there at the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's it.
Yeah, he's like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
He's like in a rage, and he goes to this parking lot where they're all at.
And
he tries to fight them all.
Yeah, and he
actually kind of does well for like a second. I'm like,
he
bro.
Probably like busts down like 3 to 4 guys before they just overpower him. But like this parking lot has like 30 to 40 just jocks, like all in fucking like Letterman jackets and shit, like the whole fucking
like
football team.
Big guys, and he's like, "Oh, I can fight you all."
And so they all just kick the shit out
literally.
of him.
I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Who does that?"
Then they all like,
if one of my friends got into a fight, I wouldn't just be like, "Okay, now all 40 of us have to kick this guy." I'm like, "What the? I don't want to kill this person."
Yeah, if my friend is in a fight of, like, self-defense, I might, like, try to step in and, like, be like, hey, stop. But, yeah, no, I would never, like, if I'm in a group and my group of friends is viciously attacking one person,
like, I can guarantee that I would be in, like, a group fight. Like, if a group's fighting another group and, like, my friends are in danger, I'll fight someone.
Yeah, like I said,
if there's an individual, just be like, yeah, kick him. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I said, if it's like a self-defense kind of thing, but I don't like fighting.
You don't like fighting?
Not a fighter.
Well, I thought you just fight every day. You're just like, fight me.
I go downtown and I beat up people I don't like.
Yeah.
People that...
Jordan! No.
Jordan, stop looking at me like that. Break his fucking glasses.
Nerd. So he like limps home pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's
because it wasn't just they kicked the shit out of him. Because he gets back into his car, because he drove a car.
And then they hit him with a car.
Yeah, they T-bone him with a fucking giant truck. And it's like,
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's like, okay, these people just are fucking maniacs.
Yeah.
And
most of the stuff actually happened. Obviously, it was dramatized, but like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Mike goes back, and his friends, like Brian and all of them are there. Also, we haven't mentioned Brian's... I just want to touch on this point before we get to this point, but the people that, like, Brian's super close with, he's got, like, a girlfriend. They get, like, a puppy that they name... I can't remember what they name the puppy. It's something, like, fucking punk as shit, though, and I love it.
It's, fuck, I can't remember either.
It's something, like, really simple. It's, like, one syllable. But he's got, like, a girlfriend. He's got, like, a brother who you can tell has got, like, a lot of, like, anger issues. And, like, they call him, like, a skinhead throughout the movie. He's like,
listen, man.
To the point where he literally wears, like, a jacket that has a swastika with a big, like...
no
like,
swastika.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, the skinheads were around much more long before that movement. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, maybe don't wear a jacket with a swastika with a no sign through it. Because, like, from far away, I'm like, is he wearing a jacket with a swastika?
Yeah.
Which I think was kind of the point of the movie. Is like he's going so far that it just kind of makes him look more like a Nazi when he's trying not to look like a Nazi.
And then we meet like his parents, and his parents
are really nice. Like they're really nice.
Like his mom like always cooks like extra dinner every night. Just like, I don't know if you boys are gonna come home.
His dad just like making fun of his hair and like they're nice to him. They're understanding that he's doing his own thing and being supportive while also being like, hey, maybe you should. They're giving his friend food. They're like, come on in. It's great.
The dad's like, I didn't hear a knock. He's like, oh, that's real funny. It's real funny, Mr. Denicky. Is that?
Denicky.
Yeah. So now that we have that set up, they basically like Brian, his brother, his girl, and like the rest of the gang that were out. They were out doing something. Oh, also that scene in the field that you were talking about.
Yeah, there's just a scene. I think it's right after they get the puppy.
Yeah, it is
laying around,
and he reads some poetry that he wrote, and it's basically just talking about how people just intentionally like push his buttons and try to push him to a breaking point because they're like, you're different from me, so we're just gonna fuck with you and try to get you to snap so we can make you what we try to, what our projection of you is, like our own ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
And and that's exactly what happens. They like bust the window and they're like, all right, this is fucked up. Plus they obviously fucked up Mike. And so they're all like, well, we gotta go get revenge.
And
so
they bring like bats and like,
because
it's gonna be 5 against like 40.
They bring their weapons, they go, and it's just this big fucking street brawl. And all of this is going on, and we talked a little bit, this dude was in the diner.
Yeah, his name's Dustin. He's been like,
he was the one I called the runt of the litter earlier.
Yeah, because he's a little guy. Well,
he's like,
he's not even little. Once he like stands next to like somebody regular, I'm like, oh, he's tall. He's like 6'2".
Yeah,
just the friends he's with are like huge, like brawn. Brawn.
By run to the litter, I don't necessarily mean in his like physical status, but in his like role that he plays among the jocks, because they give him like a lot of shit.
But he's out with like one of his friends and like his girlfriend, I think.
Yeah, he's got like a harder time picking up girls because he's like not very confident, and he gets like this one.
For him.
Yeah, I'm not trying to earn him a sympathy.
No, I know. I was just making a joke.
But like he ends up like when the cop comes and like breaks up that bonfire party, he ends up like getting. He's like his one friend and this girl.
You want to go? You want to need a ride?
Yeah, so he's secured the deal. He's got this girl and his friend in his car,
and they're driving around drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah, great start. And then they come across this big brawl.
And instead of fighting them, he instead thinks, what if I just start hitting them with my car?
Yeah, and Brian just is like, oh shit, because he kind of sees.
Well, at first he like hits. I think he hits his brother, but just like enough to like hit him off. Like not. He doesn't like do anything like hit him. He is trying to like. He's like driving around like hitting people.
He might have. I remember his brother being pinned down.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe he got Mike. I don't know.
But basically like. Brian sees that this car is like coming for him, and he's
like running away.
Shit! So he's sprinting, and
he like runs onto like a divider, and then runs off it. And because of that, the car goes up on it, and he runs him over. Like he goes on top of him, and he dies.
Yeah, like his body.
So it like cuts back to the trial, and this trial that's been being intermittently cut throughout is like. Oh.
And up until this point in the film, it made it seem like this Dustin died, was like the victim, because they like point to his parents, and the dude who's been talking has been like painting punks in this bad light because he's like, you guys wear these chains because you want to start fights and not because it's a fashion statement. And he's just like slandering them. And I want to like see if any of like the like written transcripts of this trial are out, and I want to see like how close the movie was to like the arguments that the lawyers made. Because if I don't think that they would take them verbatim in this movie, but if they did,
makes it even worse.
Yeah, because the dude's argument was shit after what...
And the like, guy who's arguing in defense of, like, Brian's, like, family and stuff is, like, really good, and his monologue's really good.
Yeah, he's like, what the... Like, if I was on that jury, I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck? Like, they need to make a 12 Angry Men where they show what happened in the fucking jury room of this court case.
Yeah, so, yeah, not to spoil anything, but Dustin gets off with...
Like a $10,000
$10,000 fine and, like...
Probation
that was later dropped.
Yeah, the fine was dropped.
Yeah. And
it's like, oh, so he literally just suffered no fucking consequences because he was a...
Even though he was...
Football favorite.
Yeah, even though he killed someone, ran away...
He admitted
hid it.
He
hid the car, and he was drinking.
Yeah, and the girl who was, like, in the car with him, she, like, testified, and she was mortified.
Yeah, and she's like, I think that she like, kind of...
She's like, there is no defending what he did.
Yeah, she, like, says something, and he's like, but there's no defending what he did. He needs to be punished. And, like... and then they drop it, pretty much. They're like, yeah, he's fine. And... the scene right after Brian died in the morning, when, like, the brother's, like, calling the family. Oof.
Yeah.
This whole scene was, like, really intense. Like, I think that the brawl itself was kind of, like, not too well, like,
the action
stuff,
scenes
just because it's also the first this person, I think it was their first film they made, so it's, like, obviously why, but then once it happened, it's just, like, horrifying.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is just, like, horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Brian Deneke, real-life man, died when he was 19. He was killed by... Dustin was 17. He killed someone. And that's the big thing. They also didn't want to send a kid to jail. I'm like, he killed a kid.
He's 17. He can be tried as a fucking adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
And he was fucking...
Where's the justice?
He did go to... Dustin did go to prison in 2001. Because he'd just been, like, breaking his parole, like, over and over again.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad he went to prison eventually.
He was sentenced to 8 years, and then he got out in, like, 4.5.
Fuck.
So he's out.
God.
Yeah.
I hope this guy has a Twitter so I can tweet angry tweets at him.
So I can go murder. Let's go run him over the car! Yeah, I mean, I really like the movie, but I also really like based on true story films. And I really like punk movies, so I knew that I was going to like it, kind of, like...
Yeah, in terms of the actual movie itself, I might enjoy it more on a rewatch now that, like, I know what happens, but I kind of stand by my statements earlier that, like, the personal story that happened, I liked. Mm-hmm. The performances, I liked.
I thought Brian, personally, the guy who played Brian, was really good.
Yeah, no, I thought he did a great job.
I also thought, you know...
I thought pretty much...
I thought pretty much all of it was pretty good.
I thought the girlfriend was a little hokey sometimes.
Yeah. But I thought that Dustin's girlfriend was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to say that... Actually, I want to say that Brian's girlfriend in it is Richard Linklater's daughter.
Is she?
Yeah, that's Lorelai Linklater.
Oh. Sorry. You're a little hokey.
Hokey in a good way. No. Thomas loves you. Call him.
I mean, if you want to call me, I guess. I don't know.
Be on screen, please. We'll talk about your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she would love that. Oh, yeah, have me on the podcast. I can talk about my dad.
I mean, she's in Boyhood. So.
Oh, is she?
Mm-hmm. I think she's the younger sister in Boyhood.
I got the criterion for that, so I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. So you can support Lorelai Linklater.
I mean, that movie, I guess it was made over the course of 10 years, so...
12.
Oh, 12. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. It could have just been direction too, and it might have just been the character.
No, you're good.
I didn't think she was terrible. I just said that there were some parts where I thought the performance was a little hokey.
I'm gonna need to keep an eye out on the guy who played Brian. Dave Davis.
What a fantastic name. Easy to remember.
He's in Logan, apparently.
I didn't watch Logan.
Oh, it's very good.
So I've heard. I need to watch it eventually. I know I don't technically.
Looks like he just is in a lot of small roles and things. Like, give him more leading roles. He was really good in this, and he looks exactly like when it shows Brian at the end. I don't know.
Yeah,
I looked at pictures. They did a really good job with the cast.
Yeah, they did.
And even the everyone looks exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really impressive for early filmmaking.
Yeah, for an early film on this director's body of work. But yeah, no, I thought overall I did like it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just mostly the cinematography and some of the camera work that kind of turned me off.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was really the only main issue I had with it. I like the music in it. I like the performances. I like the structure a lot. It actually got me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I did.
I was not expecting it.
See, because I thought that big brawl was going to happen. I thought that they were going to accidentally end up fucking killing one of the jock kids and just
And I really like that it doesn't villainize punks, but it also doesn't make them look like angels because they're people. They deserve to be treated
Yeah.
It would be a disservice to his story to be yep, they were all perfect people.
Yeah, no, they make it very clear to show their flaws.
But he was a legitimately good person.
Yes.
Who did good things.
Just because he wore fucking a spiked collar on his neck, had a big green mohawk, and liked to spray paint abandoned buildings, doesn't mean he was an evil fucking person. He didn't deserve to get fucking run over like that. Also, they mention the lawyer who's defending Brian mentions that when they did the autopsy, they figured out that he was conscious for while he was being dragged under the car until basically it ran him over again when he was coming out from under it. So he was conscious for most of his death, and it would have been very painful. So yeah, great, fantastic, absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
not brilliant, but God, that pissed me off.
Yeah,
there's no justice.
Dark Waters will piss you off too.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but that's just because our world pisses me off.
God, I really like Dark Waters. Okay. Anyway, what did you give the movie?
I would give this a 6.
I gave it a 7. I did really enjoy it. I think that I was sitting at a pretty standard 6 for most of it, but I just thought the last 30 minutes were really, really good.
See, I was sitting at a 5.
Okay.
And then the last 30 minutes was oh!
Yeah. Anyway, this was on Hulu, I think.
I watched it on Tubi TV.
Tubi TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I did watch it. No, I think I watched it on Hulu. But it is on Tubi. No, it's on Prime Video. And Canopy and Tubi.
I wish I knew it was on Prime. I wouldn't have had to sit through all those ads.
I do like that Tubi is a service, though.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
And, Tubi has a lot of shit, but it also has some good, smaller, more independent stuff like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're starting our Christmas stuff next week, which is the one we're doing in just a couple days. We're going to be starting it with a bunch of films. For the classic choices, I am picking a bunch of is it Bass? Bass or Bass?
I think it's
probably
Bass.
Hey, it's me, the Bassman. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of Bass and Rankin animated movies. They all add up to
I like this
3 hours
variant on the floss you're doing, Joe.
Joe's flossing.
It was a floss, but it was a wavy floss because it wasn't really flossing by the end. It was just kind of waving his arms.
You see, Thomas, when you're a trendsetter like me, you gotta keep the ideas fresh.
Yeah. Sorry you folks at home couldn't see it, but you could hear it, and that was enough.
You can feel my energy. You can feel my vibration.
Yeah, you transferred the spin.
Ooh.
Okay, so from the earliest one to the latest one, here's what we're doing. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964.
The CGI ones?
No?
They made a bunch of CGI ones, but I know you're talking about the original.
The what is it? Claymation? Stop motion.
Yeah.
The Little Drummer Boy from 1968. Frosty the Snowman from 1969. Santa Claus is coming to town from 1970. And Jack Frost all the way from 1979. Just jumped ahead like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think I've seen pretty much all of these except Jack Frost. Thomas, you've seen most of them, right?
Yeah, I had seen all of them except for Jack Frost and the Little Drummer Boy, and I've already watched a few of them. I've seen the Little Drummer Boy now. I still have to watch Jack Frost. I had seen Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but for some reason I thought that this movie was not this one, but
Burger.
the one I can't remember the name of it, but the one where like Santa Claus like quits being Santa
The
Claus.
Year Without a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
That one's pretty good. If you want to, I'd be willing to watch it and add it to the blood.
We're adding it. The Year Without a Santa Claus, we're adding it.
Yeah, because that's the one with like Heat Miser and Snow Miser.
Oh, okay. I always wondered where they were from.
There you go. Right
the
there.
Year Without a Santa Claus. And then what are you picking?
So I'm picking
1974.
to celebrate the strides that Disney made in taking over the market this year. We're going to be watching.
To celebrate.
We're going to be watching Mickey's Once and Twice Upon a Christmas.
Which is funny because I watched Once Upon a Christmas while in Mexico.
Coincidence.
I think while.
I was going to pick A Muppet's Christmas Carol, but it was like 1991, and I was like, So I picked the next best thing.
Well, coolio. So that's those are the picks. We'll see you for us in like 2 days.
Yeah,
for you in like a
in
week. Anyway, don't forget to tell your grandmother. And also subscribe, like the video, click the bell icon. If you're on Spotify, call up Spotify and say, hey, I really like these guys.
Yeah, could you put them on like some recommendations?
Can you put them on related to Ariana Grande?
Oh, dude, we would blow up.
Wow, these guys sound just like her. And don't forget to ask questions if you want to know the answers, because we'll ask or answer any of them. I keep farting. Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.